Yo, what's up, everybody? We live in a world obsessed with winners, right? Grinding, hustling, coming out on top. But what if I told you there's a different kind of power move? One that often flies under the radar but can be crazy effective. I'm talking about the strategic art of playing the victim. Think about it. Society has a soft spot for the underdog, the one who's been wronged, misunderstood. We rally around them, offer support, amplify their voices. There's a certain social currency that comes with being the victim. So, today, we're diving deep into this phenomenon. We're gonna unpack the surprising benefits of wearing the victim badge, how it can be used for good, for evil, and everything in between. Let's go. Look, empathy is hardwired into our DNA. We're biologically programmed to feel for those who are hurting. It's like a built-in survival mechanism, right? Back in the day, if someone in your tribe got attacked by a saber-toothed tiger, you better believe everyone rallied around to help. Fast forward to today, and that same instinct kicks in when we see someone who appears to be suffering. We want to understand their pain, offer comfort, maybe even share their story with others. It's like this primal urge to connect and show support. And that, my friends, is where things get interesting. Because this instinct, this pure human desire to help, can be, let's just say, leveraged. When someone presents themselves as a victim, they're tapping into that well of empathy, turning suffering into a kind of social currency. And trust me, in the right hands, that currency can be incredibly valuable. We live in a culture obsessed with achievement, right? Degrees, promotions, likes, followers. We're constantly being measured by what we've accomplished. But here's the thing about playing the victim. It can be a shortcut, a way to bypass that whole system of meritocracy. Suddenly, the focus shifts from what you've done to what's been done to you. The narrative becomes less about your qualifications and more about your survival. You're no longer defined by your successes or failures, but by the injustices you've endured. And here's the kicker, it's a narrative that's incredibly difficult to challenge. Who wants to be the jerk who questions someone's pain, right? So, the victim card becomes this shield, deflecting criticism and scrutiny, allowing someone to rise in the ranks, not through hard work or talent, but through carefully curated suffering. Now, before you think I'm saying all victims are out here running game, let's be clear. Real pain is real and true victims deserve our compassion and support, full stop. But here's the dark side of this whole thing. Victimhood can weaponized. Think about it. What's the best way to disarm someone before they can even throw a punch? Convince everyone you're the one about to get hit. Master manipulators, they understand this. They know that by playing the victim, they can control the narrative, paint themselves as harmless, and discredit anyone who dares to question their motives. It's like a preemptive strike, a way to silence criticism before it even leaves someone's lips. And because we're so conditioned to believe victims to take their side, it creates this dangerous dynamic where the real aggressor can operate with impunity, hiding behind a carefully constructed facade of vulnerability. Okay, so far we've talked about how playing the victim can be used to gain sympathy, build a reputation, even manipulate others. But here's the thing, it can also be a powerful tool for personal growth. Hear me out. Sometimes adopting a victim mindset, even for a little bit, can force us to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves and the world around us. Maybe we start to see how our own biases and privilege have blinded us to the struggles of others. Maybe we develop a deeper understanding of systemic injustice and the ways in which certain groups are marginalized and oppressed. But here's the catch. That newfound empathy, that awareness, it can easily swing in the other direction. It can morph into self-pity, resentment, a sense of entitlement. Suddenly we're seeing ourselves as victims in every situation, blaming others for our own shortcomings, and using our perceived suffering as an excuse to avoid taking responsibility for our actions. Let's be real, there's a certain satisfaction that comes with being right, with occupying the moral high ground. And in the hierarchy of righteousness, the victim sits pretty close to the top. Think about it. When you position yourself as someone who's been wronged, you automatically gain a sense of moral authority. You become the arbiter of justice, the voice of the oppressed, the one who gets to call out and condemn others without much pushback. And that, my friends, can be incredibly seductive. It's intoxicating to have your pain validated, to have your perspective unquestioned, to wield the power of moral judgment. But it's a dangerous game because that kind of power, it corrupts, It can turn empathy into self-righteousness and compassion into a weapon used to silence dissent and shut down anyone who dares to challenge your narrative. Look, it's crucial to remember that real victims deserve our compassion and support. But as we've seen, the victim role can be performed, manipulated, even weaponized. It's a complex issue with no easy answers. But here's the takeaway: don't be so quick to judge a book by its cover. Just because someone presents themselves as a victim doesn't automatically make them a saint. And just because someone speaks out against injustice doesn't mean they're always in the right. We have to look beyond the surface, question motives, and be willing to call out BS, even when it's uncomfortable. Because sometimes the biggest threat isn't the one pointing the finger, it's the one pretending they've been hit.